Hey guys, it's me, D-Pad Danny. I picked up Star Fox Zero today. I thought that I would come on and just kind of unscripted tell you a little bit of my first impressions of the game. The game is fun from what I played. I only put in about maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so. The graphics are nice. They're standard HD. They're nothing that's gonna, blow your mind or there's not much that sets it apart from everything else out there. But it's still nice to look at. There's some good textures, some good lighting effects. The water is nice and shimmery when you fly over that, so that's really nice. The gameplay is fun. You have your classic R-Wing flying stages where you shoot down enemies and go through rings and things of that nature. And then you have some new vehicles. You have the Walker, which isn't exactly new. It was in Star Fox 2, but that wasn't released. So you have the Walker, which is really kind of cool. I personally enjoyed these segments where you're walking around shooting things. You can kind of roll out of the way one way or the other to avoid things. You can hover and you can dash by utilizing the right stick. And then there's the gyrocopter, which I didn't really care for that much because it's slow. It's not... I mean, you can still shoot and stuff, but it's just slow and it makes things kind of more tedious than I think it needs to be. In the gyrocopter, however, you have this little robot that looks kind of like Rob, the robot. You can send him out and he has like a bungee cord that he's attached to the gyrocopter with. He can move a certain distance and he can actually interact with certain switches and things to take down shields, open up latches, turn off lights, things of that nature. So that's kind of cool. What's really interesting is when you're in that view, the TV screen shows the gyrocopter sitting there, and on the gamepad you see the first-person view of your robot, so you can go in like tight corridors, but it doesn't show it on the TV, unfortunately. So recording something like that, you're not going to get the full effect watching it. You'd actually have to play it. Similarly to that is when you're in your R-Wing flying around. You can use motion controls to move your aiming reticle, which to me, it works alright enough, but it's super cumbersome. And oftentimes, it'll get off-centered. So they put in a feature where you can just press Y and you can recenter it to wherever position that you're holding it. And I found myself having to do this quite often. It's a little awkward moving with the left stick, but changing your view and aiming like this, it takes a little bit getting used to. It's not impossible, I mean, it works all right, but it feels really unnatural. And I think that's the big looming issue here. As I said, I've enjoyed what I've played so far, but the controls are just awkward. It seems like they really tried too hard to push you to utilizing both the TV and the Wii U gamepad separately, but you have to use both. For example, in the R-Wing sections, there's your standard rail shooter areas, and then there's some that it's kind of a free range mode, to where you can just kind of fly around. You'll have to take out X amount of enemies, or do various things like that. So you can lock on targets, which it's so weird because the TV screen will lock onto the target regardless of which way your R-Wing is pointing. So you could be locked onto a target, but your R-Wing is actually flying away from it on the main screen, and then you have to look at the bottom screen to so you can actually see what your R-Wing is looking at, because if you're just locked on the target, you can't see in front of you, so you'll run into stuff. It's a cumbersome mess. Again, not to say that the game isn't fun, because it is, but it's like it's one hurdle after another. You kind of have to just kind of work your way through it like you're I don't know. It's weird. As I said, I haven't played too much of it, but I've still enjoyed what I've played so far. I do like the Walker. Gyrocopter is kind of cumbersome, but there's some cool ideas there. The free range areas are probably my least favorite right now. I would find it hard to recommend to somebody else for $60. If you can find it for if you can find it used in a month or two for like $30, I'd say go ahead and pick it up. You might enjoy it. I'm not a huge fan of the Star Fox series in general, so maybe somebody who's who holds it a little bit more near and dear will have more fun with it and will be able to look past the flaws, but they're definitely there, and they're definitely staring you right in the face. Guys, I'm D-Pad Danny. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.